Blink and they're gone, to find out who they are without us. All the more reason we come to West Virginia, to introduce them to simple things like rolling hills, secluded lakes, summer campfires, and we hold on to that feeling for as long as we can.
Find your version of heaven at wvtourism.com. Brought to you by the West Virginia Tourism Office, the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Hello, Wildcats. It's your boy Kev, just coming at you like a little angry bald man in a bagel shop. And this is just to let you know that we are a comedy and crime podcast. So even though we do cover many serious cases and true events, we do like to throw in some dark humor and some inappropriate jokes every now and then. And if you are a supporter of ours on Patreon, this episode will sound and look familiar. Since we are at the True Crime Podcast Festival in Chicago currently, we did not have time to record an episode. So we are pulling our episode about the Shaggs, and we're pulling that from our Patreon and putting it into our feed. So I do apologize to our supporters on Patreon. You are getting a repeat, but we did record a new bonus episode again this week, so we'll be releasing that next week. And for those of you that are, this is going to be new to you, the Shaggs, they are a family band of three sisters that their dad forced to make a band, and none of them know how to play their instruments or what they're doing, but they write and play their own songs, and it's super interesting. So hopefully you enjoy that. And also at the very end of this episode, there may be a little special song that I just recorded, and I hope you listen. So thank you everyone for listening. Be good, stay safe, and laugh at the dark stuff. Hashtag Wildman.
Oh, the rich people want what the poor people's got, and the poor people want what the rich people's got, and the skinny people want what the fat people's got, and the fat people want what the skinny people's got. You can never please anybody in this world. The short people want what the tall people.
And Usain Bolt just ran the mile.
Alrighty, welcome to the bonus episode of the Brotherscommon.place. Today we're going to be covering something that's pretty interesting, super fascinating. But before we jump into that, I want y'all to meet some of these carny guys that I met just an hour ago.
Fuck, I was really trying to think of a Chester Bedingfield opening. I don't have one. It was going to be something where like I changed my sheets so my name was Chester Bedingfield, but that's not even funny. So, yeah, it's Tim.
What's up? It's Spence.
There's four of us here, right? This is Toof, and we're about to go 1, 2, 3, 4 loco on that ass.
Oh, shit. And we're leaving the condom in there.
And it's your boy Kev, the dirty dog. So this bonus episode is something a little different. Like, it's not a crime or anything. It's just something that is pretty strange and super fascinating. And some of you may have heard about this or know what we're going to be talking about. And if you haven't, then prepare to have your life changed forever, because we're going to be talking about a band. And before you juggalos get too excited, it has nothing to do with the Insane Clown Posse.
Well, fuck, Andrew was going to be on this one. See you, buddy.
However,
what did I buy all this Fago for?
However, because we're all poor. However, the name of that band is the Shaggs.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Wow.
That's how you knew we were poor when
Toof showed up?
I was going to say when Spence just bought the Fago, but I was looking at Toof and Toof's name came out.
When you said that this is, what do you say? This isn't a crime, but it's definitely looked down upon or something like that?
No, it's just a very fascinating case. Fascinating topic.
But it's not a crime.
It's not a crime.
So just like pretty much laughing at midgets. All right. So yesterday,
Dude, the fucking New Day had midgets handing out pancakes at WrestleMania like a year ago.
Yeah, they
oh
did.
yeah. So I was at Walmart. And I just turned the aisle, dude, and I just saw this midget looking up at a shelf. And I fucking I just walked right past, and I was like, shit, should I ask them if they need me to reach something for them? I was just fucking walked right by.
It's all right. My mom ended up being okay.
And our main sources for this is from pitchfork.com and also npr.com. And also a shout out to the YouTube channel Alpha Media for showing me this band, because I just randomly saw this on YouTube on the front page with no idea what it was or what it was about or anything. I just randomly decided to watch it. and it really did just completely change my life.
When you said NPR, I had to think for a second. I was like, wait, isn't that beer? But I was fucking PBR. By the way, Toof was drinking one of those the other day.
Oh, those
It wasn't even a hipster thing, though, for Toof. Toofs drink those all the time.
Yeah.
those suck. You like PBR?
Yeah. I wasn't going to drink at the bar
But-
we were at in Cleveland, but as soon as I saw they had PBR, I was like, give me one of those.
He
fuckers.
also admitted that he thought it was gross, though. It's just
Oh, yeah,
something
it's totally shit skunk beer. I just
Yeah.
grew
Yeah.
up on it. I love it.
If you're
Yeah,
gonna go
apparently
with-
Toof likes PBR as like some kind of poverty Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Big time.
not a hipster way, though.
If you want to go with cheap, shitty beer, that's good. Go with Miller High Life, man.
Yeah, dude, I love that stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff, too.
So the Shaggs.
Oh, wait, I need to interrupt for a second
yeah.
because where Toof was drinking this PBR, I ate a bison meat burger.
Dang, was it good?
Oh, I mean, I've had bison meat before. I have like a personal rule. If there's bison on the menu, that's mine. Bring me all the bison you have. Wait, I'm afraid what you heard was bring me a lot of bison.
Fuck yeah, Ron
Yes,
Swanson.
Ron Swanson.
It's just in your blood to like destroy the Native Americans by killing all their bison and eating
Oh,
them.
hell
dude.
yes.
What?
Dude, I have some like Native American chick in my ancestry from like the 1800s. So I find that really offensive.
No.
Wait,
I'm more Native American than Elizabeth Warren.
I think we all are.
Kidding about the offensive part, by the way.
I was say Charlie Sheen's Coke is the whitest thing I've ever seen, and it's still more fucking Native
Dude.
American than Elizabeth Warren.
You made that Charlie Sheen joke on the real unofficial podcast, and I wanted to add in Charlie Sheen like says like you're at his door, you're like trying to get him in to like come on the podcast or something.
All right.
And he's like, "No, dude, you guys should come in. I'm working on this great new movie. It's Food Fight."
Holy shit, man. That would get the fucking 4 viewers that movie had.
So the Shaggs, they're an American band from Fremont, New Hampshire that formed in the 1960s. They were an all-female, all-kick-ass rock and roll group formed by sisters that didn't know how to play instruments.
And the carpets did match the drapes.
Well, they were young teenage girls, Spence.
We tried.
How do you feel now?
Whoops.
We tried to like have our own like male version of this band. It wasn't called the Shaggs, but he did rhyme with it.
The lead singer was Andrew.
And that wasn't even our band name. That's just what everyone called us.
They called us it before they called Mike Dexter it.
Well, I mean, our band name was similar. We were the French Cigarettes.
Why did you just do the fucking robot before you said that? He's like doing the fucking cigarettes.
I was trying to like go like this.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to make a double helix.
Ooh.
So the band consisted of Dorothy Wiggin on vocals / lead guitar, Betty Wiggin on vocals / rhythm guitar, and Helen Wiggin on drums. And then later, their sister Rachel would eventually join the band and play
Wait.
bass.
What was Rachel's last name?
Let me check real quick. Wiggin.
Sounds like
The plot thickens.
Sounds like they have a lot of potential, but wouldn't end up being great players. It's Andrew Wiggins.
Wait,
Yeah.
if Dorothy Wiggins, what instead of YouTube, she like uploaded her stuff to another site. I think it was fagolovers.com.
And if not that, maybe Vimeo.
Oh my god.
But for all of this story, we'll be talking about the Sisterhood Trifecta 3-piece rock band of absolute power. So before Rachel was playing bass for him.
Yeah, fuck off, Rachel.
And you may be thinking, oh, that's awesome. A group of music-loving sisters decided to learn some instruments and start a band together. That sounds pretty cool. But you would be very, very wrong. It wasn't even their idea. And not only that, they didn't even know how to play any instruments. So first, let's talk about their parents. Austin Wiggin Jr. and his wife Annie. Together, they had 6 kids. 2 were boys and 4 were girls.
I was going to say that's a lot of fucking kids when my sister has 6 kids.
And this family, they just happen to have a mysterious circumstance about them. You see, when their father Austin was a young boy, his mother, who was also a palm reader, she had predicted his future, saying that he was going to grow up and marry a strawberry blonde woman. And then she also predicted that after I pass away, you were going to have 2 sons. And then later on, you would have daughters that would form a successful rock group.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
So she told him that as a kid.
That's so specific.
He always starts off like telling the story to like all his friends and stuff. When I was a young boy.
My mother read my palms and okay, I got nothing.
But as a palm reader, it turns out she was actually just a really apt user of Palm Pilot.
And at first, Austin didn't think too much about this since he's only a child. But later on in life, he would meet, fall in love, and marry Annie, who was a strawberry blonde woman.
Oh, hell yeah.
His dearest Annie.
And wouldn't you know
Self-fulfilling
it,
prophecy.
that soon after, his mother would pass away,
Oh, shit.
which then led to Austin and Annie having 2 sons.
Wow.
So now Austin is like, holy shit, she was right all along. The first 2 prophecies had come true, which means that the third and final prophecy was set to happen next. His daughters would all form a successful rock band.
And of course, Austin would listen to his mother because daddy wasn't there.
Daddy wasn't there.
To take me to the fair.
So I want to hear from you guys real quick. How do you think this band was formed?
Through conception.
Through conception?
Erosion.
Erosion.
Through trial by fire.
Trial by fire. All good guesses. So what happens is his 3 eldest daughters, which are all just young teenagers, by the way, Austin tells them, he's like, yeah, you girls, you're all done with school. School's out for summer. School's out forever.
Oh, fuck yes.
Pulls them right out of school. Bam, you're fucking done. And then he gives them all instruments. He's like, here you go, ladies. Oh, and by the way, your band name is the Shaggs, which is like a super fucking dumb and weird name.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you guys want to listen to a band? My daughter started a band. They're called the Mega Anal Sluts. Like, why would you name the band the Shaggs?
But we all know why Austin named the band the Shaggs. I mean, he used to hang out with Felicity Shagwell.
That's true. Shag very well by reputation.
That's right.
Austin.
It was because of his history with the spy who shagged him.
That's fucking
right.
right. Yeah.
But the Shaggs is actually because of the haircut, he said. But still, that's weird.
Sure, Austin.
But yeah, he takes them all out of school. He's like, you girls are all done going to school. Each morning, you're going to be homeschooled. And then after that, you're going to practice these instruments during the day. And then at night, we're all going to do calisthenics.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which is like a gymnastic exercise type thing.
All right, I got to get one more in. But yeah, he's doing this on his own. Like, his wife is actually gone. It sucks because he found out right after the wedding that she was a fembot.
Sadly, though, I guess they knew all along.
His wife didn't want to have any more kids, so he told her she has to join the band too. So she has to play the skin flute.
So yeah, Austin has these girls. They're all homeschooled now, and then the rest of the day they're playing these instruments. So they're practicing during the day, but without any teachers. Like, they're just jamming around and trying to learn all on their own. They have no theory, no teachers, have no idea what they're doing. Just random jam-alongs.
What year is this?
So
Or decade?
Hashtag Wildman. That's kind of cool. This is in the 60s.
Okay. They have much
These are
music to go off of too.
But these are like teenage girls who are like, they just get ripped away from their lives, social lives in school, handing these instruments, and you don't even know if they want to play them. You don't even know, this might not even be something they want to do.
Do you know, like, what instruments? Like,
Yeah, that's important.
was there, like, you probably already said it. Was there, like a guitar, bass, and then drums?
There's no bass player. There's a lead guitarist and vocals, a rhythm guitar. The guitar lead and rhythm doesn't matter. Once you hear the music, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But one girl is playing guitar and singing lead. Another girl is playing guitar and singing like backup, and then there's a drummer.
Okay, gotcha.
I was hoping you were going to say, like, they all played tuba.
That'd be awesome. Ed Liggett, tuba.
Wait, so you've heard,
Wait, you're in love with tuba, girl?
so you've heard their music?
Yes.
Would you say it is better than a collaboration of Courtney Love and Yoko Ono?
It has been compared to Yoko Ono in some ways.
Wait a hell.
But the thing is, we'll get to it. I don't want to get too far ahead.
So it's a notch above Avril Lavigne then.
What? But yeah, something I didn't really think about until that Alpha Media video mentioned it, but this is like super fucking sad actually. Like, these young teenage girls, they now have no social lives. They stay home all day. They're not actual musicians. They're just given these instruments and told to figure them out on their own and play. And like, school is such an important time when you're growing up, and they just get ripped away from their friends and everything. And they're just like, yeah, you're in a band now, so learn these. And it's not like Austin can teach him how to play it or anything.
Yeah. Which is kind of stupid, because if he's going by what his mom said, all the other stuff that happened, like, he didn't force it. So, like I mean, if he's going by what she said, he could have just let it happen organically.
Yeah, that's true. And here's a quote from the Pitchfork article about Austin. He demanded that the Shaggs practiced all day in the family basement, while he was at work, when he came home, after dinner, and occasionally before bed. Sometimes this pre-bedtime practice was replaced by calisthenics. The Shaggs would play a song over and over and over again until Austin deemed it perfect or a close to the level of perfection an untrained group could reach. As Dot later explained in Songs in the Key of Z, quote, he directed, we obeyed, or did our best. And remember that part about how he made them practice until it was perfect, because in 1969, just 5 years after they started playing, the Shaggs would go into a studio and record their very first album, Philosophy of the World.
I like that name for sure.
And while in the studio engineer, after hearing them play, he immediately was like, yeah, none of you are ready to record an album or a song.
Damn.
And this is what their father said. He's like, no, he like ignored it. And this was his quote. He wanted to get them while they're hot. That is so fucking creepy and gross.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking nasty. Like, I definitely got a rapey vibe there.
And I don't know exactly what he meant by this. I don't know if that has anything to do with like a looks or anything, or if he's just like, man, while this is hot. I don't know what he means by it.
It doesn't sound like something you would want to say about your daughters. Like I could like think of like an agent saying it, and they may not be as creepy.
And there's like no easy way to say this without sounding like a jerk.
Ham beast?
I mean, they're teenage girls, but I mean, they're not.
I would definitely love to see this. Oh.
You know?
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Why the fuck do they look like that guy that left Metallica a long time ago?
Dave Mustaine.
Yeah.
Dude,
they all look
so
like him.
much like him, dude.
Fuck,
Holy shit. It's like Dave Mustaine mixed with like everybody from Hanson.
So, yeah, they end up recording an album. And they pay to have 1,000 copies of this album pressed.
Jesus.
But for some unexplained reason, like there's no reason given, but the person that did it only gave him 100 copies. And like only 100 copies of this actually came out of those 1,000.
Wow.
So some believe that the guy just took the money and left. Some believe that the studio just got rid of threw away like 900 of them. We really don't know.
What do you think would be easier to do? Find this album or find Blank Mind's album?
That's so no one gets this, but that was my old band. Dude, know what's funny?
I think I have one of them.
Dude, that was a good. I liked it.
I mentioned this before. Whenever I was in the band, we recorded an album, and we like made everyone we work with buy these albums.
There wasn't a maid. We did it willingly.
And my girlfriend at the time, her neighbor was one of the people I worked with, and her dad saw them selling one of my CDs at their garage sale that they bought from me.
Oh my god. Cash flow.
So fucking funny. It was a good album though. I liked it.
So here we go. We're gonna play. Actually, if you listen to our classic episodes on Patreon,
it's
the
the
opening song is one of our songs.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play a song right here by the Shaggs. It's called "My Pal Foot Foot."
What the fuck?
Well, the thing is it's about a cat that Dot had that was missing 2 legs. All these songs are by girls who aren't musicians who just write songs about stuff they know. You know.
Okay.
But yeah, so. Keep in mind, none of them know how to play instruments. This is their song.
Damn, already, man. I kind of like that little spot right there.
Oh man.
Starting off with a solo, huh? You know, I bet you some hipster loves this shit.
There's a lot of people that love this. We'll get to it, man.
They're like, oh man, you could just tell this is pure. Like they've never been touched by music before.
My pal's name is Football. I never find him home. I go
This is actually kind of scary.
Yeah, we'll get to that too.
Dude, I'm gonna get murdered to that song.
Dude,
I fucking guarantee it.
So that's a clip of it. I'm not even joking. I will get into how scary it is. We'll get into
Dude,
that
yeah,
in a minute.
like I feel for you. Like if you had to fucking like add that in or anything, like or later when you're doing your editing and stuff. If it's like nighttime, fuck that.
I am not going to say anything right now. I will mention a little bit later about that. So we're going to play a few more clips here of a couple pieces of songs, but pay attention to like how innocent these songs are. Like, yeah, the music is awful and bad. However, it's super unique and mesmerizing in a kind of weird way. Like the first time I heard this, I laughed and hated it, and it was like super garbage. But then after hearing more, it's like the songs are so different and unique that it like somehow magically grows on you. It's super weird because there's no other music out there that sounds anything like this.
It's Halloween, it's Halloween, it's time for scares, it's time for screams. It's Halloween, it's Halloween. The ghosts will spook, the spooks will scare. Why even Dracula will be there. It's time for games, it's time for fun, not for just one, but for everyone. The jack-o'-lanterns are all lit up, all the dummies are made and stuff. By just looking you will see, it's this time of year again. It's Halloween, it's Halloween. All the kids are happy and gay, there doesn't seem to be a cloud in their way. But when it's over and they had all their fun, they wish that Halloween had just begun.
I mean, I kind of like that one.
So also remember, these kids, they don't know anything about music. They don't know how to play, but they were told they had to be in a band and write songs.
Wait.
So they write and play songs about basic things that they know.
Is this what they went to the record company to record?
That is what they recorded.
Oh, fucking balls, dude.
So it's just like they don't know what they're doing. But I mean, if you give 3 teenagers 3 instruments they've never played and were like write songs and make music, I mean, what do you expect?
Hopefully he was nice about it.
I expect oh brother, where art thou?
In 1968, at a talent show, just a year before recording this album, the Shaggs would play their very first live performance. And almost immediately into their performance, the crowd started to heckle them and throw soda cans at them.
Oh, come on, you fucking dicks.
And like, these are just teenage girls and they're young, so they're embarrassed and all that. But their dad still made them play and finish the sets. And I do want to mention something here. I don't know where this footage came from exactly, but there's a part in one of their few live performances where the drummer is playing on one of the cymbals and moving her head about with it. And I can't really explain why, but that mixed with this music, like it legit like freaks me out and like kind of bothers me. And I'm not even joking. I had the worst nightmare I've ever had last night.
What?
Yeah, like this shit absolutely haunts me.
With Sleepaway Camp worse than that?
It's just like that. I cannot explain it why this music it really haunts me. I don't know why it gets to me. Like it really scares me.
Is it as
legit.
bad as that dancing like weird thing?
It's up there with it.
Okay. That fucked with me.
So there's like nothing actually scary about this. I don't know why it fucking scares me. Let me pull it up. All right. So if you look at the live footage of them, like the guitarist, they like move around and bob back and forth at the same time, like doing the same motions. And then you have the drummer doing that weird thing. And I can't explain it because it's just innocent teenage girls playing music, but something about it fucking haunts me and it's scary. So, all right, here it is.
Jesus.
It's the fucking right here. I don't know why this scares me. Something about that freaks me out. That's literally it, but it scares me. I swear to God, I can't explain it. I swear to God. And then,
I didn't even see it.
and then they just the way they move. Everything about this legit. I swear on my life, this legit scares me. Just the way they move and shit. It's so fucking scary.
This does have the Shining hallway twin
Isn't
scene
it
kind of feel to it.
See it, yeah.
And another quote from that Pitchfork article. The Shaggs are literally the sound of teenagers without any real training who are suddenly tasked with creating pop tunes.
Which is what it was.
Quote, it just came out of my head, Dot explains in the reissue's liner notes. When I wrote the lyrics, I already had the way the song is supposed to be, the tune of it, so then I matched the melody with words and then chords with melody. As such, the guitars follow the warbling vocals note for note, and since each accented word receives its own unique pitch, the plucking is acrobatic and difficult to follow. Rarely is there a moment on Philosophy of the World that feels cohesive. Yet, even though each sister moves at her own tempo, somehow the structure never falls apart. There's something intriguing about the noises the Shaggs create and the way they become catchy. Chaos is negated in the same way that after enough contemplation, the violent splatters of a Jackson Pollock painting become calming.
I mean, I guarantee there's a hipster that has like everything they've ever done on
Dude,
this
we're
iPod.
going to get to it. This band got decently popular. And the songs, they seem pretty sad as well. Like, there are a lot of songs with lyrics that reflect their opinion of their father or parents or just guardians in general. So I highly recommend like looking this band up and just checking out some of the songs because it's kind of crazy. And in 1975, just a few years after the release of their album, their father would end up passing away of an unexpected heart attack, and so the band called it quits. They would later grow into adults and start their own families, having kids, and leaving behind their rock and roll group. However, the group would actually end up becoming cult rock and roll heroes. The 100 copies of the album were passed around to radio stations, but they really didn't get all that much attention at first, but musicians and bands still somehow discovered their music. In the 1970s, a radio station started playing them for some reason, and then people heard them and became fascinated by these strange songs.
Now, would they?
I too like my own farts.
Would they get money from that?
I don't think so, not from that.
They wouldn't, because they didn't own any of it, right?
And here's a quote from Michael Cub Coda on them. There's an innocence to these songs and their performances that's both charming and unsettling. Hacked at drum beats, whacked around chords, songs that seem to have little or no meter to them, being played on out-of-tune, pawn shop quality guitars, all converge, creating dissonance and beauty, chaos and tranquility, causing any listener coming to this music to rearrange any pre-existing notions about the relationships between talent, originality, and ability. There is no album you might own that sounds remotely like this.
When you said hacked, I really thought you were about to say hashtag Wildman.
Also hashtag Wildman.
That'd be fucking awesome if that guy said that.
But that's the thing. Like, the people aren't listening to this and being like, oh man, that's like the greatest thing I've ever heard. It's just so fucking unique. And like the sad story behind it and the fact that there's no other music that sounds like this because it's just teenagers that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But they're like actually trying to create stuff. They
Absolutely.
just don't know how. It's I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And one of the first instances of publicity that the Shaggs had was on the Dr. Demento show.
Oh, of course.
In an early 1970s Dr. Demento show, Frank Zappa, he was on there.
Fuck yeah.
And he was playing some of his favorite songs. And during that time, he played a couple of Shaggs songs.
Guess who else? Oh, I'm sorry.
He
no, you're
fucking
good.
would.
And
Guess who else got his start on the Dr. Demento shows?
who?
Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Told me that, yeah.
That's cool. And Frank Zappa, he also was like, I love this album. And that's where a lot of people first heard of the Shaggs on there. Kurt Cobain, when he ranked his 50 best albums, he had Philosophy of the World up there at number 5.
I'm sure he did.
And now the band is back together, sort of. The drummer, Helen, she would end up passing away. But the two sisters and their youngest sister that would eventually become their bass player, they would still get together and play shows. And they would play with like an actual band, and I think they would just sing mostly. But the bands that they were playing with would learn the songs the way they recorded them on the album.
Wow.
So they had to learn all these songs out of tune and shitty, like, and they had to play everything out of sync, like out of time, which is like it's impossible because the drums are always out of, like, they're never in the correct rhythm and stuff. They're always just changing everything, speed and everything. And that's how they played, though. Like, they stayed together coherently, even though they were all, like, playing their own speeds and their own songs pretty much.
Yeah.
So it is pretty fucking nutty that they did that.
Was this technique of training wrong called Wimplo?
Again with the squeaky shoes.
Wow.
But yeah, that's like a fucking miracle that someone could learn to play these songs perfect as the album.
That's awesome.
And now we have another possible twist. I watched an interview with a man that he played instruments for Dot on an album that she put out later, and he claims that Dot actually can read music, and that back then, the Shaggs, they knew exactly what they were doing, and they had played and recorded that music like that on purpose, which I don't know if that's true. There are some people that think that they were just like musical geniuses ahead of their time. Some people claim that they were doing all that shit on purpose to get back at their father for making them do this.
That'd be a cool theory.
So people do claim that. I think they just didn't know what they were doing. I mean, I think the simple answer is that.
Oh, yeah, it really probably is.
But I do love the idea that they're like, all right, we're going to make these songs like this just to get back at our father. Yeah, paying attention to their songs, like they play completely out of tune and out of time, but yet they're all playing together, but in their own rhythm in a way. Like it makes no sense at all, but they play together. It's so weird. And there's like, I don't know if this next part's true because I've seen it on some of the YouTube videos, like on the comments, but I've seen a quote saying that reportedly during the recording sessions, sometimes the band would occasionally stop playing, claiming that one of them had made a mistake and they needed to start over. And the sound engineers would be like, what the fuck? How the fuck do you even know what's a mistake? This whole thing's a mistake.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. But either way, there is no other band that sounds like them. There's no other band that's like this. So you should go and check them out.
I agree. I like it.
And then next week's Patreon episode, we are also going to be talking about a band, but it's going to be completely fucked up and disgusting.
Oh, shit.
And, yeah, you should look forward. Actually, I wouldn't look forward to hearing that because it's fucked up.
Wait, we are doing one on ICP?
Close.
Oh, okay. Well, Andrew might show up for this. Andrew, we're doing one on ICP.
Fuck ICP. Buy my CD.
Sign up for the Patreon episode.
But alrighty, that is it.
Hashtag Wildman.
Hashtag Wild Women.
Last night I had spaghetti, today I had some pizza, tomorrow I'll have spare ribs, and then I'm gonna shit, taking a 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 shit.
July 17th is National Hot Dog Day, which means every amateur in town will be out there trying to take advantage of the one-day specials. But the pros know that Circle K has $1 hot dogs all month long. Every day is National Hot Dog Day at Circle K. Includes classic dogs only, for a limited time only at participating locations, while supplies last.
Welcome to Sherwin-Williams.
Hi there. I heard paints are 40% off.
Yep, and stains too.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. Only at your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store.
Right now.
Well, July 19th through the 22nd.
Right on.
Right? Ask Sherwin-Williams, July 19th through 22nd, and save 40% on paints and stains, with sale prices starting at $23.09. Only at your local Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.